After China applied new visa regulation, the number of tourists heading to China has rapidly increased. However, foreign language tour guides in China are extremely scarce. Without a guide, the experience can be quite poor, and you will easily get lost in the crowd. This channel wants to act as an electronic tour guide, taking you to explore famous attractions and sharing stories behind them. Our first stop is at Xi'an, where we meet the guard of China's first emperor. In 221 BC, tensions were rising in the Mediterranean, as the Second Punic War was on the brink of breaking out in Central Asia. The Parthian Empire was rising while India was under the rule of the Maurya dynasty. Meanwhile, in China, the great emperor had vanquished 6 kingdoms and established the First Empire. The capital of the Qin dynasty was in Xi'an, located near present-day Xi'an. To the south, there are mountains that provide natural defenses, while the northern plains are suitable for population settlement. The emperor's tomb is also near the capital. What we see now is that tomb. If you're a regular tourist, as you get off the bus, you'll enter a small square in front of the Terracotta Army Museum. Head toward the black main entrance. The distant mountains called Xi'an. Chinese characters are pictographic. The character Li combines the symbols for horse and beauty, originally meaning fine horse. So, the tour guide will tell you that this mountain is named after fine horse. Many tourists might wonder, what part of this mountain resembles a horse? Where are the horse's head, rear, and tail? Actually, this is a misunderstanding. Ancient Chinese referred to deep black horses as Li, so this mountain is named for its color, which resembles that of a dark horse, deep black and deep green. On the southern side of this mountain, there is famous Lantian jade, as well as the Homo erectus lantianensis, among the earliest Homo erectus in China. To the north of the mountain is Tongguan, an important pass and ancient gold mine. Xi'an is so special that possible to mine both jade and gold. In addition, Xi'an is surrounded on 3 sides by tributaries of the Yellow River, mountains, water, gold, jade. All these represent wealth and status in China. The emperor said it would be good to bury me here. So the location of the tomb has been determined. Let's keep moving forward. After checking tickets, we are in front of the Terracotta Army Museum. In 1987, the Terracotta Army became a World Heritage. The Terracotta Army is the emperor's underground guard. In ancient China, there is no clear boundary between life and death. Death is seen as a continuation of life. Death simply means that people transition from living on the ground to living underground. From the perspective of Chinese characters, the place where living people live is called home. Move the upper part of the house to the lower part. It's the place where the dead live, called a tomb, shong. So the emperor is eating, drinking, defecating, sleeping. All daily necessities, including people, concubines, and servants have to move underground together, continue to serve the emperor. Qin Shi Huang lived for 50 years. Built his tomb for nearly 40 years. The manpower mobilized reached 720,000. And spent 1/3 of the national budget every year. There is a question that follows: how many people need to be killed and buried can meet the emperor's standards? How to avoid becoming a tyrant? The emperor remembered a myth in China. The goddess used earth to create humans. I can also make people out of clay. What is the Terracotta Army? They are made of pottery and used to play the role of the gatekeepers of palaces. The Terracotta Army is buried 2 to 3 meters underground. 3 pits, more than 8,000 soldiers. We now call it miracle and civilization. But in ancient times, it wasn't really that important. Just some of ordinary burial objects, not a single word in the historical records, until discovered in 1974. Well, you have fully understood the history of the Terracotta Army. Really? Think carefully about a question. Qin Shi Huang's death was in 210 BC. Over the course of 2,000 years, at a depth of 3 meters. Has no one discovered this pile of clay figurines? Why can't we find it in all the literature? Interesting, you're getting to the nature of the story.